Welcome to my study today. In our last lesson, we looked at talking about the future using the modal verb will. Today we're going to look at another way of talking about the future using going to. Why do we make this choice? Well, I'll try to explain that. At the end of the video, there is a dialogue with two people speaking naturally using both phrases. So let's take a closer look at going to for the future. We use to be going to express a future intention. It might be something we see in the present, it might be something we have in our own minds. But we make it up like this. I'm going to, you're going to, he's going to. And I'm sure you recognise that as the verb to be plus going to. But notice we contract the verb to be. I'm, you're, his. That's the way we would say it. We might write I am going to, but we would certainly say I'm going to, you're going to, they're going to. To the phrase going to, we add the base form of the verb. That's the verb without the infinitive to. Speak, be, say, walk, take. We use the phrase going to when we have an idea of an intention to talk about the future with the cause in the present. Now I'll explain that a little more clearly in the next slide. This man is thinking about what he's going to do later on in the day. I am going to play golf today, so he chooses going to. To make the negative, we follow the verb to be with not, and we place that before going. I'm not going to speak to John. And the question form reverses the subject and the verb. Am I going to walk 100 miles? Now let's look more closely at this idea of an intention with the cause in the present. Here's a situation very much in the present. Look at this silly man. Look out! He's going to have an accident. That's a clear prediction, and it's obvious something's going to happen in the future. Here's another situation. He is going to dive into the sea. We're in the present, but his action is going to be in the future. And here's a very good example. Anne is going to have her baby next month. We can see the situation and we know what is going to happen next month. Going to is also used for a present idea with a plan in the future. When are they going to get married? In other words, what I'm really asking is, when are they planning to get married? And that's in the future, so we use going to. I'm going to sell my car. Definitely a future event and a plan. What is John doing? John is in bed, but he says he's going to get up earlier tomorrow. He's planning to get up, so we use going to. You may be asking, how many tenses are there in English to talk about the future? But the thing is, they're not really tenses, they're just different ways of expressing the future. Here's a dialogue for you where two people use going to and will. But James, one of the speakers, also uses the present continuous tense to talk about the future. He says, I'm driving. And Pamela, she says it opens tonight, meaning the restaurant, and again meaning the future. So that gives us 4 ways. But don't worry, we'll speak about these other 2 ways in our next lesson. Listen carefully for the contractions. I'll, it'll, they'll, we'll, meaning in this case we shall, and you'll. Here's a dialogue in a bar with 2 people. James and Pamela meet in a bar. Would you like a drink?
Yes, please. I'll have a gin and tonic. What are you going to have?
I'll have an orange juice because I'm driving later.
Gosh, I'm hungry. Let's go to that new Italian restaurant, shall we? It opens tonight.
OK, I'll pay this time. It'll be my pleasure. I'll look up the menu on my iPhone.
Don't bother. I'm going to have spaghetti meatballs, my favourite Italian meal. They'll certainly have that.
OK, I think I'll join you. We'll have a great time. Drink up and I'll go and get the car.
I'm also going to have a nice bottle of red wine and ice cream for dessert. Oh, and an Irish coffee.
Oh dear, then you'll have to lend me some money. I promise I'll pay you back next week.
Oh, James.
Next time we'll talk about the future using the present continuous and the present tenses. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.